So in this video, we're going to resume with where we left off, and this is part 2. So in this particular case, we're going to be adding our IP addresses to all of our interfaces, and we're going to be creating those loopback interfaces and adding IP addresses to that as well. Okay, so starting with the topology that we already created in the first section, let's go ahead and add our IP addresses to this. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on all the routers at this point simultaneously because I only have 4 routers, and it's okay to turn that many on at once. If I had a larger topology of 8 or 9 routers, I probably want to do them one at a time. And also, I'm going to want this to use secure CRT. So I'm going to go to Edit and Preferences to make sure that I can use the tabbed advantages of secure CRT. And right now, that is already set up. So we can see here under Console Applications for Telnet, it is using secure CRT, and it's got all the correct arguments to do tabbing and everything else. So we're okay there. So hit OK. And let's just go ahead and verify all these routers are indeed running, because I can see here in the topology summary they're all green. That's what I want to see. So now I should be able to start them all up. So go ahead and I'm going to console connect to every single one of them all at the same time rather than hitting them individually. And there we go. All right, now, for whatever reason, secure CRT, when it opens up, it doesn't put the tabs in the order I would actually like. I want to be numerical, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to move my routers around a little bit here to get them where I want them to be. Okay, let's just start with router 1. I'll go ahead and expand him for a moment. Let's create the loopback interface first. And then interface serial 2/0. Do not have to put a clock rate as if these were real routers, because in GNS3 we don't have to worry about that. All right, so that takes care of the IP information for router 1. Let's go ahead and save his config, because we're also going to be using snapshots as we go along this process, so we can go back and forth in time if we need to change things or troubleshoot things. So save his configuration. Let's go ahead and minimize him. And let's now go to, so for some reason it moved these around, trying to get me in trouble here. All right, now let's go to router 2. Interface serial 2/0, that connects back to router 1. And interface serial 2/1 that connects to router 4. And that's pretty much all we have to do as far as IP addressing is concerned on that router. And make sure we save our configuration there as well. I love how it keeps moving my windows on me when I expand and then contract. That's just so adorable of secure CRT. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to router 3 now. Interface fast Ethernet 00, which connects back to router 1. And interface fast Ethernet, let's see, I forgot, so let's go back to GNS3. It's fast Ethernet 0/1 here, which is the other interface that we want to configure. Let's save his configuration. I'm just going to go ahead and close that window, because I can't have the window up anyway when I create a snapshot, because all the routers have to be powered off. And the last router we need to configure is router 4. Let's finish off the IP addressing here. And let's just verify that he's got all the correct IP addresses. Show IP interface brief. We've got our two physical interfaces and we have our loopback. Everything looks good. So let's save the configuration here. Let's go ahead and shut down Secure CRT. Now let's go ahead and use some of these other tools here to just include what we've done so far. So let's go ahead and use the Add a Note tool to now put in our IP addresses and subnets so we can keep that in track. So 1.2.1.x/24. That looks good. Now let's go ahead and duplicate that 4 times. All right, this one over here, we're going to right click on it and do text edit. And that one is going to be 2.4.2.x. This one down here, we'll right click on that and text edit. 1.3.1.x. And this one down here will be 3.4.3.x. Okay, and let's go ahead and use the Add an Ellipse tool, or draw an ellipse, to represent our loopbacks that we've created. We'll put one right here, and then we'll right-click that and hit Duplicate. And then we'll drag the new one over here. And then once again, we'll use the Add a Note tool to actually draw inside there. Loopback 0, 11, 11, 11.1. Duplicate and edit. All right, so that gives us everything we've done now from an IP perspective. So let's go ahead and save our project as it is. And at this point, let's go ahead and create a snapshot now of where we are with all of our IP addresses intact before we start adding routing protocols onto this. So I'm going to create a snapshot, create, and I'm going to say IP addresses only. Close. But I broke the cardinal rule of snapshots, which is the routers must be in a powered down state when you do the snapshot. That snapshot I just took might not even work. So let's turn everything off. Let's create a snapshot again. I'll give it the exact same name, IP-addresses-only. And then the one with the earlier timestamp, I will get rid of that. There we go. All right, and that concludes this section of the video. In the next section, we're going to finally start adding EIGRP to this topology.